Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tone Talk with Mark Uzansky and Dave Friedman. How are you? Tonight we are talking with Pete Thorn. Pete, welcome back. How are you?
What's up? Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. You guys have been traveling together, right?
Dave and I, we were in Detroit this week, and Dave was nice enough to think highly of me enough to take me out there to do some, I don't know, I guess rig sort of walkthroughs of a few different guitar players' rigs for a show that he was putting on at the legendary Harpo's concert venue in Detroit. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I got to talk to some great musicians and kind of look at their different rigs and stuff, and it was cool. We had a good time.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, how are you doing?
I'm fine, other than a little under the weather. I contracted something from the club, I think.
Which, if you've been there, it's not hard to imagine.
It's not hard to imagine, but you would think it would be something more like something worse, maybe.
Maybe not a respiratory illness.
Right. Staph infection or something.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But it was successful, right? I heard it went great.
Oh yeah, went really good. Yep. It was a little warm in there because it was very humid that day because it rained. But hey, that's fine.
We had some fun
great.
up there. It was cool.
Yeah, we had some fun.
Yeah.
Did a little
cool.
drinking.
Yeah, had a few drinks. I saw some new stuff. That Detroit's really come back down. Or I don't even know if you could say come back. It's probably different than it's ever been downtown now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Way different than it's ever been.
Turning into something else.
I've never been. So what's it turning into?
I mean, I would say 10 years ago, Dave's from there, so I'll let him really answer that. But I mean, I wouldn't have walked around in a lot of the areas that I was walking around in the middle of the night in this time, where it's just complete. It seems to be kind of like a lot of maybe tech industry and, people taking advantage probably of good business opportunities, lower
rent,
low taxes and that kind of thing, and just business moving in. And I mean, like I'll give you an example, the old Firehouse downtown. I went there for dinner, and it's a boutique hotel now, and it's unbelievable. The restaurant and the lobby and the hotel is just like, it's we're talking like downtown Detroit, and it's beautiful.
Apparatus room, right?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
that's what it's called, the apparatus room. Yeah,
and it's in the renovated old Firehouse, and it's really beautiful. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on there. So, what do you think, Dave? Is it just kind of like?
Well, I think what Detroit has sort of become is a kind of a mecca for our artists, and always has been for music people, but kind of a mecca for artists and culinary people, opening some amazing restaurants and some amazing stuff in that town. They've gentrified a little more of the downtown area, a lot of lofts and a lot of great restaurants, but literally, like, you can look on a Yelp or something, and the first 15 restaurants are all like 4.5-star restaurants, like really amazing and interesting food and bars. And I think we went to a couple cool bars,
Yeah, that whole Corktown and Bricktown area is really fascinating. Like the way it's been built up with restaurants and bars. We went for barbecue down there, and it's quite something.
Yeah. We went back there on Sunday.
Oh, did you? To the barbecue?
No, a couple doors down from it is I can't remember the name of it. A couple of doors before that barbecue place was a great cocktail lounge.
Oh, okay.
When I say cocktail lounge, I mean like serious, like mixology cocktail lounge, like crazy. I mean, the bar, the wall behind the bar was littered with bottles that were 3 bottles deep of just everything you're looking at it going, wow.
That area seemed to have a lot of cool spots to hang in it. I didn't get back there, but
yeah, really interesting that little cocktail lounge. You would have loved that place. That was awesome.
But I did go to that one, which is an old school joint downtown. What was that place called? The Checker Bar.
Yeah, the Checker Bar. That's total old school dive bar.
Yeah, and the great thing about it was that it was everybody under the sun hanging out in there. It was like all kinds of people people of all shapes and colors and sizes and ages, and it was like, and just everybody hanging together and having a good time, and I really liked that. I thought it was great.
Well, that's the general thing that I was mentioning. I don't know if you were out with us on that one night we went out, but yeah, you were out. When I was mentoring, anywhere you go, sort of that way.
It's real diverse.
Every ethnicity, form of dress, hip, not hip, older, younger, all mixed together. It doesn't matter how nice the place is or not. All mixed together, and everyone's having a good old time, which is very different from LA.
Yeah,
that doesn't really totally exist here.
Yeah,
it's definitely maybe a few places, but not really.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. I was doing a bunch of traveling, just didn't work out for me to get there, but I would have loved to have been there.
Pretty great.
Yeah. How were the shows? So Seduce rocked it in Cairo Knife Fight as well?
Oh, yeah. And Sammy Bowler also.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. It was a good show. Great show.
That's cool. When are we going to start seeing some video from that stuff?
Oh, good question. I have video drives sitting right next to me right now. A bunch of stuff has to get mixed, and a bunch of stuff has to happen for that to happen. So you're not gonna. You maybe will see some from Sammy or Cairo Knife Fight before, but anything from the Seduce is going to take a bit.
The rig rundown stuff I should be able to probably once I get this next week is crazy because I got to go to Japan on tour, and while I'm over there I'll do Dave's editing, I think, for some of the stuff that we shot for the kind of rig walkthrough stuff. And once I have some time over there, I'll be there, and then it'll be a perfect time to get some editing done. So that shouldn't be too long.
Great.
Yeah. That stuff will come first, probably.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool for everybody out there to see, like, you get basically from one spectrum to the other, the Seduce guitar rig or Sammy's guitar rig through to Cairo Knife Fight guitar rig, which is like polar opposites of, like, here's a couple very simple, great sounding rigs. Here's a really complex.
Like, what are you doing, rig?
Yeah. And I mean, even with all the explanation, and I'm, I know this stuff, it's like, I was still like, I don't quite understand what he's doing. Like, exactly after watching him, you watch him play the songs in that band, and he's like, this is George Pahone we're talking about. He's hitting like a lot of switches, triggering loopers and like turning things on and off, shutting loops on, shutting loops off, changing amps, changing the fuzz on and off. And he's doing it all like kind of fairly seamlessly, like as he's playing the parts.
He's got a lot going on. Definitely.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
You'll see.
I mean, even like you said, Pete, when he's playing, I think I saw that you did a video clip. Maybe you went live at some point, or you did something where I saw there was some video of George Pahone.
On Instagram.
Yeah. And I watched that, and I mean, you're right. When he was playing, it was just like, wow, he was doing as much with his feet as he was doing with his hands.
Yeah, he's busy.
Well, even when I built those rigs, it was like, wait, you want to do what?
Right.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me wrap my head around this.
Right.
And then I'm finally like, okay, you just tell me exactly sort of the routing you want, and then we'll do it, and then good luck.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you get to program it all, because I have no idea how to do it. So,
Yeah, but you say that to me too.
Well, I say that to you because I know you know how to do it. You know how to do it, though.
The programming of what, the looper stuff?
Oh, just MIDI. Like, how do you get this device to talk to that device? And
you can figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, how do I get a continuous controller to change? It's like, I don't know. You do it. I got other stuff to do. No, Dave's great. He's always there if I need help. But
well, let's put it this way: you don't want to pay me to figure it out for you. You can do it yourself. You're capable.
That's true. The reality is, teach a man to fish and he'll eat forever, or all that. It's like you got to kind of get into your rig and learn all that stuff. And it's funny because I forget these MIDI controllers. Man. It's like I use the Musicom Mark V on my board, but it's funny if I spend a few months away from it, like the other day I programmed a sound for the first time in a while on my board, because I've just been using it kind of like instant access, like a pedal board without presets for a while in my studio. The other day I had to go and it was like programming a, okay, I got to tell each MIDI device what to do. And it's like, I forgot God, how do I do that again? Like, how do I get into make the reverb switch and it took me, you make a couple wrong pedal switches. You're like, oh yeah, dumbass, it's just kind of complicated, some of those. The funny thing about the small switchers is, I like John Suhr always says, he always liked his Bradshaw because there was a button for everything. Yep. And it was right. And it was very easy in that way. Whereas as the switchers get smaller and smaller and more powerful, there's always invariably, you got to kind of have menus and page through things to get to.
Yeah. The older controllers were very much easy, just super simple. It's like, I want these 4 things on. Okay. Click, 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 store, done.
Right.
And MIDI was almost equally as easy. Also, you just go to this MIDI page and go, oh yeah, clicked here. I want that to go there, 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 and there. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were big, but they were easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have never done MIDI at all.
Well,
good for you.
Yeah.
if you made it this far, don't worry about
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. But that's cool. So you said you're going on tour, Pete? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm going to Japan with the same fellow that I've been with for a few years, his name is Tyoshi Nagabuchi. And so we're doing a summer tour. So be over there and playing in all the, Osaka, Tokyo, Sendai, all that kind of the bigger cities, Kagoshima. And should be a lot of fun. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you like going to Japan? Do you like traveling that far?
Dude, I love it. I love going to Japan. I love it so much that I'm learning every day. I've been working on speaking, and I taught myself hiragana over the last few months. So it's one of the alphabets. So I'm on to katakana now and trying to learn, slowly but surely.
Good for you.
I love it there. It's a great place. It's a great place for guitar players. If anybody, common knowledge, but they love guitar and they love music. They're passionate about it, and they're totally into all this stuff we geek out on. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like way more so, actually.
The shops there. I mean, just the video and I've seen just stuff on YouTube. Amazing shops there.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the best. Anything you need. I mean, you can literally go into like where could you find this? Where I stay in Shibuya, it's like if I had a problem with my switcher, I know exactly where to go get another one, and they'll have the other 6 competing. They'll have the crocodile tail one and the RJM and the this and the that, and they'll have every single switcher that you could possibly need, power supplies or any pedal, that's for sure, and many that we don't have.
Amazing
Japanese brands and stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's not what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I think they've probably, even with Gibson's business troubles over the last while, they've probably been the ones keeping Gibson afloat as far as that, because when you go there and see the wall you go to the Ishibashi store in Shibuya, and you see literally 100 custom shop Sunburst Les Pauls on a wall, and you're just like, oh, they bought all the Les Pauls this year. It's just like a wall of 58 and 59 historic Les Paul, it's crazy. And then there'll be a whole wall of PRS and a whole wall of Nags and a whole wall of Sir and a whole wall of whatever,
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't see that in the States.
Not anymore. No. I mean, maybe never again. Yeah. I
mean, there's a place here locally that's still in business called MAE Music. That's a Sir dealer. So they've got some Sirs on the wall, and but for the most part, you rarely see anybody, really dealing with a lot of boutique stuff.
Yeah. And it's interesting there. They generally have the music stores will have sometimes a 2 different stores, but they're owned by the same. It'd be like the Akibe store, and you've got kind of the lower price Fender and maybe like Fernandez and different types of guitars that are sort of more either cheaper guitars or the midline guitars, and then they'll have their boutique zone, which is sometimes in a different store, like upstairs or something. You go up there. Right. Floors sometimes, certainly in Ochanomizu, if you go to, which is the crazy guitar district in Tokyo, where you go there and they basically it's 5 floors and one floor is all acoustics, one floor is all kind of budget electrics, the next floor is all super high-end electrics, the next floor is metal guitars. So that'll be all like literally like Petrucci models, or like like kind of shredder more
right
guitars.
Kramers, and exactly.
Exactly, yeah. And then vintage will be another floor. 5 floors of guitars, like all like split up into different categories.
Amazing.
Super cool. Yeah, that's cool.
And are they having like financial issues, like the stores closing up over there, or not even close, like to what's going on up here?
That's a good question. I think that it's probably, I don't really have my finger on that, but I think it maybe is a little tougher than it used to be. But there's a whole, like, music. The interesting thing that goes on there is you can go to a bar or something and it'll be like a music bar, and many of them are like themed, right? Like you'll have like bars that there's a lot of vinyl bars there, so you'll go in there and there'll be behind, this is the coolest thing, behind the bar there'll just be a wall of records, thousands of records.
Nice.
And it's not even a big place. It'll be like, sometimes the bar is the size of this room, because they don't have a lot of space there, but there'll be a bar and then with like a huge record collection and usually a pretty good system, and there'll be a guy in there spinning records, and sometimes it's the bartender, and he spins records in between making drinks. It's cool. There's a whole bunch of places like that. So cool. And it's just really, they take a lot of pride in all the records and the music they're playing, and usually their systems and stuff, and they play it in a nice, the bar in Shibuya called Bar Grandfather. Go there. If you just go to Bar Grandfather, and there's literally a guy in there that's the grandfather. And he's like this old dude, and he's spinning, everything from like, it'll be like, Procol Harum or something, or then to, Frampton, and then he'll put on some Stones and then some soul, James Brown or something. And then, he always puts the record up behind the bar on the shelf, to show you when he places the record, and then you listen to that song. He's spinning. It's awesome. But the dude's like, grandfather's like probably like 70 years old, and great whiskey and stuff, whatever. It's just really cool. But what was my point when I got around to this is so some of the hard rock bars that you go into, and especially ones that play kind of like rock and stuff that kids are into, there'll be a whole bunch of kids in there listening to music, and their favorite, and they'll play videos a lot on screens, and so the video will come on in their favorite band, and they'll freak out like they're at a concert. And they'll start singing all the words, and they're drinking and stuff, and they're just singing at the top of their lungs, like totally like they're at a show. And you're like, wow, it's just people hanging out,
That's
and the
great.
interesting thing is the music's really interesting. Some of the bands over there and what they're doing and stuff. And I almost feel like as rock has kind of like slid a bit over here in popularity, and especially with younger people, that didn't happen there. Like, it's still like there's a whole thing that's like with kind of mixture of styles and stuff, and like different, it might be like some of it sounds a little like ska mixed with metal, mixed with like whatever, like, there's a lot of stuff going on there still, where they just took the ball and ran with it. And it's not only musically, the videos will come on, and the videos are insane. They look like super, like CGI, like crazy high quality, really crazy videos where you're just like, whoa, I've never seen anything quite like this rock video that's on right now. And then they'll play a song by an American band, and it'll come on and it'll be a video, and you're like, look at this video compared to the shit we just saw, and it'll be like something recent that came out in 2012 or 2015 or something by somebody. And it'll be like, you're like, whoa, they're killing it right now on the rock and the videos. They've just taken the ball around with it to a whole other level, kind of.
Right.
And so that's what I love about going there, is that it's just like, well, this is kind of in many, like I still love it here and all that, This is my home. I live here, but there's something going on over there where it's like, this is kind of in many ways like a really, I don't want to say better planet, but maybe in some ways, and like like you feel like you went to another planet where it's just like, whoa, I want to stay here for a while. Like, this is, whatever's going on here is really cool. Sorry, I went on a long-winded rant there, but I do. That's how much I love it. Is I get all excited about it.
Oh, it's awesome. That's
Plus,
awesome.
I just had a cup and a half of coffee, so
That's great, man.
It's a lot of
fun. So in addition to touring, you also have an album coming out, right?
Yeah, I do. So, and it's really been a like giving birth process to get it done. But we've done it. We got it done. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
I already don't want to hear it because I've heard it already.
Yeah,
how many times?
And over and over again.
Yeah. He's heard it a lot. It's just getting a record done and being
But it's
happy
good.
with it.
I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, don't say that. Nobody's going to listen to it.
No. Let me rephrase this. I've just heard it a bunch of times now.
Yeah,
but it's great. So
I need to get away from it for a minute. Yeah, thank you. It'll be out. We did a pledge music campaign, which is really what got me to finish it. My friend Dennis, who was just here, actually, he's the one that really talked me into finishing it. He had a hookup at Pledge Music, a friend of his, and Pledge is basically kind of like Kickstarter, except just for music projects. And so you can go there and do basically a pre-sale thing where people can go and pre-buy a download, pre-buy a signed CD, pre-buy whatever you want, So we came up with a bunch of fun packages, but we had to get it done by June 1st and delivered. So like literally today, I was just at the post office. If anybody's out there that got in on the pledge thing, I was at the post office for like 2 hours today, sending pickups, mini Sir riots and all the stuff we had. So a bunch of stuff went out today, and then the download will be available. I believe actually it's May 31st, and CDs and stuff will go out shortly thereafter. So it's all getting delivered right away. So
I got in on that.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I think I got the T-shirt and the download, and I think a CD, a signed CD or something.
Oh, rad! Great! That's awesome. So it's all going out real quick, and
cool.
But man, it's great to get another record out. Another 10 songs, and just feels really good. It's almost surreal when I do these things. It's like
I can start on another one.
Oh.
So
he's going to take a break for a minute.
I'm going to do it different next time. If I do another one, I'm going to I need more help.
Live tracked in the studio.
Yeah, and I need an engineer. I need somebody to help me, because it's too much.
Well, tell us the process. I'm curious.
Well, okay, so a lot of people said hey, we like your demo songs. You should just put those out as a record. And I thought, well, that's actually kind of a good idea. There's hundreds of tracks there from the pedal videos. Mm-hmm. So I'll go back and mine those and find ones I like and turn them into full-blown songs and just kind of extend them. And, in some cases, I kept some of the original tracks from the demos, because it's like, well, this is cool. Why do this part again? Mm-hmm. So I would extend them in. So, for example, there's a song that I ended up calling In Good Company. And, oh wait, is that the one? Yeah. So it started out life as a Bogner pedal video for their, I believe it was for their compressor, I think. And so about, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years ago, I made a video for that pedal. And so I just took the track and pulled it into a new Logic session. And then, basically went, well, the tempo sounds good. Everything's cool. So let's redo the drums now with real drums, extend into a full song. So I actually kept my solo from the beginning of that. Ended up redoing just about everything else, I think. But now it's got Tim Pierce playing a solo on it. It's got Larry Basilio playing a solo on it. Jason Fries, who plays keys with Green Day, is on there playing organ and added a bunch of keys. And I turned it into this kind of like Pink Floyd jam.
Super cool.
So that was fun. So it was many of them started out like that, where it was like taking an old track and turning it into something new and extending it, building it into a real song. And then there's probably half the record is like that. I did a bunch of Steve Stevens, like 3 tunes with Steve Stevens on bass, and he also played keys on a few things.
Oh, awesome.
And which was awesome. And Billy Idol's drummer as well, Eric Aldanius, he played drums on a few. Kurt Biscara, he's an amazing drummer. He played on, I think he's on 4 tunes actually, and he played on a song that Chris Chaney from Jane's Addiction, bass player, amazing bass player. He played on the last tune, which is called Remember. Kurt's playing drums on that. So those
is he still with Jane's?
From scratch? Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah, I don't think Eric's playing with Jane's. It's like over the years, I'm not always aware of, like, sometimes Eric seems like he's in there. And
yeah, he was in there for a period, like after they did that one album with I think it was called Strays or something like that.
Yeah,
Chris Chaney was in it. Yeah, and then he came back, and then I think he left. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but I think he's been doing it full time for a while now. So him and I have gotten to be friends over the last year or two, and he's an amazing guy. He's really great, man, and he's got incredible tone. And what an amazing musician. Like, he's a really, really nice person. Like, and really dialed into just musically, like. He comes up with like 3 different ideas on the bass, and he's like, I don't know, like, do you think like is this more appropriate or is that more appropriate? But he's got like 3 different kind of game plans when he listens to the tune a couple times, and then he's got like, should this be 8th notes here? Should this be, and it's like he's really methodical. And I just really like him. He's great. So, and then my buddy John Button is on at least a few tunes, who's also an amazing bass player. Dennis Martin, who helped me finish the record, the Pledge Music, he plays like I think on keys on 5 tunes, so he's really good at programming keyboards and stuff. And, so yeah, it's great. It feels really good to get some new music out there. So it'll be the Pledge Music thing. It'll be out May 31st. But for folks that just want to get it or stream it, I'm going to stream this one. Why not? You're going to be able to get it everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. I'd love it if you'd buy it on iTunes. Exactly.
Please buy it, people.
Yeah, the streaming thing, but whatever. It's just like it's the way of the future, I guess. So, it'll be everywhere on June 15th. I was going to say June 15th. You'll be able to get it at all. Purchase or stream or all that on June 15th. Yeah. So awesome. Pledge people get it about 2 weeks early, May 31st. Good
deal. I can't wait to hear it. With the streaming, I was curious. I pay for the family service with iTunes. Okay. Where you get like just unlimited. You can download any like new albums that come out and stuff like that. So I assume the artist is getting paid for that, right? So when your album comes out, I can download it. I hope.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty numbers. I mean, it's like when you look at, it's not, the reality is, somebody that's selling like for the type of music I make, it's not, or getting paid through the streaming services. I mean, it's nothing, It really is nothing. I mean, iTunes is a considerable, and I think they're killing it off next year. I don't think Apple's going to sell music anymore, from what I was told, pretty soon, in a year or two. And I mean, that's Apple's a considerable source of, and Amazon and stuff ever since Guitar Nerd came out. I get paid every month. People buy the record, which I really appreciate, but that's going away now. And the streaming thing, in comparison, it's, we're talking the diff.
I didn't hear that. That's interesting.
Yeah. The difference is literally between, like, I guess if you're an artist, a fairly big independent artist, it might be thousands of dollars a month. If you're a smaller artist, it might be hundreds of dollars a month. To, my Spotify, look at how amazing, it's $12 or whatever for the last month. It's nothing. It's pocket change. Even the big artists.
By not buying the music, you are screwing the artist.
Yeah. And in the end, it's like, unless we come up with a new model, it's like, what's the incentive to make new music? Because geez, you spend like months making these things, months, if not years.
Where's the rainbow? Where's the
pot at the end of the
pot at the end.
Ultimately, I don't do it to make money. Really, it's like the money always feels like making a few bucks. It's like, this is great. Like, it feels like a bonus, But by the same token, it's like you have to. If you're taking a month to make a record or something, well, how do you put food on the table?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if there's how do you allot for that time? So it just becomes really difficult. But maybe somebody will come up with something new. I don't know.
Have you ever toured like with to support the album? I don't know. But you didn't do that for Guitar Nerd, I don't think, right?
I did not, but now I feel like maybe this year, now that I got 2 records, feels like there's at least 20 tunes there to pick from, so I should be able to come up with a cool 8-song set, right? Like,
we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
You were like, I got to learn it all though.
Well, it's daunting because you're like, man. God, how am I gonna go out and do this? So, but I'll probably figure out something, I guess, over the next little while, how I can go play. I mean, I did those, that one time I played at the Sir party.
Yeah,
that was my little band, and it was fun. It was really fun. So I would just do something like that, probably.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be a blast. I'd love to just occasionally book a baked potato gig or something. Yeah. I saw that Tony McAlpine's been playing all week at the baked potato with Vinnie Moore. Yeah. I love Vinnie Moore. He was that guy.
Wow.
Yeah. And Tony was my bandmate in the Michel Polnareff band. I toured with him in 2016. And I didn't get to go down there all week, which sucks because I lived down the street. I felt bad about that. Like,
two monster guitar players.
Yeah, I learned a lot from Vinny. I used to practice his, like, I don't know if it was Hot Licks or whatever his video was, but he had some great, like a really killer video, instructional video.
Yeah, those old videos are great. I actually just I'm cleaning out my office. I've had my office for 14 years with my company, and everything's cool, but just no reason to continue having an office now. My kids are older and everything, So I'm moving everything out, and I found one of my boxes that had all my DVDs that, like you said, like some of those Hot Licks videos, and so I've got like Paul Gilbert and like a bunch of Petrucci and all these different videos that I found, the DVDs at least, and some VHSs as well. So yeah, it's funny stuff.
It's good stuff, man. I mean, I loved those. It was like, because I guess you put those in, and something about the focus or whatever of like, it was, you weren't getting distracted by your phone going off, and like doing it on the computer is always like, I always seem to like get like, I learned YouTube's amazing for learning stuff, but you have to focus, because it's like if you get your alerts on or an email comes in or whatever, now you get, and then you're off. It's like now you're not in the zone anymore. It's like with the VHS tapes, you were in the zone.
That's exactly right. Nothing was going to take you away from that. You're like rewind.
Totally. It's like focus practicing. We weren't. But anyway, the good old days.
That's cool. David, have you seen anything in the chat? Should I go to the chat?
Oh, I don't know. Good question. I was looking at it for a little while, and then I wasn't seeing anything, and there might be some stuff in here.
Well, I'll say hi to some folks. We had some early people joining. Cheddar Kung Pao. I saw some people there was like somebody was trying to call me right now on Skype.
Somebody wants you, man.
Really? Why are you calling me right now, Molly? Sorry, buddy. Molly, what are you doing? I love you, buddy, but I'm doing the show. What are you doing? So Cheddar Kung Pao, actually, someone stole his name, or let me know if that's cool with you, because I saw somebody who had like mozzarella something. It was like mozzarella Thai food or something. Like they were stealing your name. So I saw that. They commented on one of our videos. Michael Bishop, what's going on? Quentin James, Sean Zimmerman, M. Rabble. So thanks, guys, for joining early. And we got Wally Walters says, love Tone Talk. T. Crane says, Pete Thorn equals class act.
Oh, that's too kind. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mike Himmel's in here. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. What's going on?
What's going on, Mike? How are you? Hope you're going to have a good Memorial Day weekend. Willis Wham, Pete Thorn is amazing. Love his whole catalog.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. And
I'm a hack. I do the best I
can. Jim Becker, greetings, guys. R2, R3, Locking Nut. What's up, guitar freaks? Pete Thorn has the best version of EVH Eruption, Willis Wham says. You know what? I agree with that.
That's too kind.
Yeah, next to my friend Guitar Wannabe. He's always reminding me. He's like, I had a video up before Pete Thorn, actually. I'm like, really? He had a lot of hits on his video too, so he's pretty proud of it.
That's cool.
But yeah, I love your video, man. I actually go back to your video a lot.
I need to go back, and I can't pick that. I can't play that right now. That was hard.
Come on, pick up a guitar. Do it right now.
Yeah, I know. I gotta be warmed up, and I gotta have nines and E flat, and but it was fun. You know how I made that video? It was like literally the setup was so ridiculous. I had to figure out how to record my voice and the sound of the guitar at the same time, and I really couldn't figure out a way to do that. I ended up using I think I had my PreSonus little interface with the cab mic'd in the closet, and I was recording the video on my iMac through the camera that were like the same kind we're using right now.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how I recorded the video, except the cameras this was 10 years ago or whatever. So it was really crappy cameras. And I took so I was running Logic on, I think I couldn't figure out a way to record my voice. All I remember is this: I had two computers strung together, so I was recording in Logic in the second computer and using I think it was because I couldn't run iMovie and Logic at the same time on the iMac or something. So I was recording the audio on one and the video on the other one, and getting the audio it was bonkers, and using the 1/8 inch out on one computer to go to the other computer. So it was really rinky dink. However I did it, but I guess it turned out okay.
It sounded great.
The tone's there anyway. It was that
EVH amp, right?
Yeah, I used the EVH amp, similar to the 50 watt you got right back there, I guess. I was using the blue channel, and I used some reverb and a little bit of echo in Logic or something, I think.
Was it the 100 watt head that you had?
Yeah, I had a 100 watt head for a while, and I used it on the road. I was playing with Chris then, and I used it. That was my amp for about a year on tour. And I really just used that one channel. I used the blue channel. And and I was still A-Bing to another amp for clean and stuff, but it worked great, that amp. It was cool. I sold that amp, but it sort of wish I hadn't. I know it was cool. Those early ones. I always remember the first time I tried it. Was at a Guitar Center in Hollywood. I went in and plugged it in, and I tried that blue channel. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. That's really kind of that tone, and it sounded really great for the at the time. I thought it was just my first, when you plug in an amp and your first impression is it's you shouldn't, I think I like it. No, it's like you plug in, you go, ooh, first couple chords, damn, and that's why I felt about it, So,
yeah, it was a great amp. I had the white cabinet and the 100 watt head, and I got rid of it. I don't know why I did. I sold it for something else, and like I usually do, sell something for something else, and I miss it. So I ended up getting the 50 watt head, which is, I actually had gotten recently I had gotten the EL34 head. Did not like it at all.
No, wasn't the same sound. No,
the blue channel, and a lot of guys that I talk to in the VH circles, the blue channel was just really different, lacking. It was muddy. Dave, did you ever hear it? Have you heard it?
Oh, was it the 50 watt one?
The 50 watt, the 50 watt EL34.
I had a 100 watt one through here.
Yeah, those are good. They're better because they're like the stealth version, so I think they're a bit higher gain.
Yeah, I think the blue channel on the 100 watt was pretty good.
I liked it. That was the one that I had used. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean on the EL34 version.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the stealth.
That was pretty good. I thought that when it went to the lead channel, it was just like a little too much and a little too. That's when that little cocked wah kind of sound comes on, and I don't like that sound very much. So, but the blue channel didn't have it. I was going between the two, and I'm like, that's interesting. The one does, but the blue channel didn't. So
yeah, and then they did something on the 50 watt when that came out, and I bought that, and I got it. I was trying. You know, when you get something, you try to love it. You're like, oh, I just got it, and everybody's like, some people are like, no, I don't really like it. I'm like, no, I can figure that out. I can get the sound.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I can boost it. And then ultimately I was just like, no, it's just not giving me what I wanted. So then I went back. A buddy of mine had, my buddy Craig. I bought that from him. So, and it sounds different. It's better. It's got that sound, the blue channel, so it's a good amp.
It's funny. You usually know it's funny. I plugged into my old Comet the other day, which Dave's actually worked on a little bit, but I used to have two, but now I just have one, and I hadn't used it in years. And I took it home and actually used it with the Sir Load, and I was doing a video for that Moore radar pedal, a little speaker sim IR pedal. So I thought, I'll play the Comet and I'll load it down with the Sir, and then go line out into the Moore. And if you watch the video, I ran my an Archer. I got kind of a special Archer from Rocket that he put a couple different little parts in and stuff, and then he said, "This is what I'm doing for Jeff Beck" or something. So maybe I'm not supposed to say that, but it's it's and I think it does maybe sound a little bit different. But so I used the Archer into the Comet, and I played the lead on the video, the Moore video with it, and it sounds really good. It's like it was like, damn, this amp, and I just I've got the little settings where I always put the knobs on the amp. I mean, it's like complexity.
Sounds great.
It sounds great, man. It's like it's very Marshall to me. I don't know how different it is, and it's probably its own thing. But
it's pretty different. But it has that character. It's got that.
What wattage is it? Is it a higher wattage or 18?
It's 50, but I'd say it's got to be 65 in reality, because it's
It's rip your head off.
Yeah, it's a screamer. And it's real bold. Those amps, they have this amazing complex mids, like real full. Like it sounds expensive in the mid range. I don't know how else to say it. It's sort of Marshally, but it's more sophisticated sounding, but not in like it's polished. It's just like, God, the mids are rich. Like it's got this thing, and you kind of run the bass on 4 and the mids on 4 and the treble on like 6 or 7, presence on like 6, and then you just turn that volume up, and it's it kind of magic starts happening around 5 or 6 or 7 on the volume. Really good sounding amp. But anyway, so I used that. But anyway, one thing I wanted to make the point about that is the very first time I played one, I remember hitting one note and going like, it was up the street actually from here. It was at Amp Shop, the old Amp Shop location, because he had Comet. I played one note and I was like, ooh, it just bloomed into 3. Like the harmonics, and it started feeding back, and I was like, whoa, this amp's really cool,
I'll never forget hearing a real train wreck a million years ago.
First time.
And it was Liverpool. And man, just like the same sort of thing, but just like, whoa, that was cool. It's like, wow. Okay, I get it.
Something special.
Awesome. That's awesome. So Pete, is that video, the eruption video, is that your most popular video on YouTube?
I don't think so. Weirdly enough, I think the most popular one is this video I did called, the clickbaity titles, they tend to get views. So I did a video called How to Use and How Not to Use Overdrives.
Okay.
And one of the people watching it said, "Don't tell me what to do," like in the comments. I thought that was awesome. I wrote back, "Okay, sorry." But basically it was about like, I don't like tube screamers when you put the knobs on 5 and then it kind of lowers your signal, and then you hear this layer of overdrive over top of a clean sound. I hate that sound. So tube screamers to me are meant to have the output slammed, or at least 3/4 of the way up, and the tone generally below half, and then the drive you really don't need to crack much past 4
and the amp needs to be distorted a little bit.
And the amp needs to be distorted a little bit. Yeah. And then it sounds great. It does its thing, But anyway, I made a video about that. And that video, I think, has, I don't know, like, you can take a look. It's got like 800,000 views or something. So you never know. You just never know, like, which ones.
Right.
It's like, but that one, for some weird reason, the one on Tube Screamer.
Our most popular video is actually you and John Sir. The first time.
Oh, man. That's because of John, because of all his great stories.
It was both of you guys, but no, both you guys it was just great. The interaction between you and John, because you guys go way back, you're good friends, and he had some great stories, of course, too. So
he's got so many good stories. I like his story, the sandwich story is great. Like the roast beef sandwich story.
That story, and then of course his necklace story about his
blow his balls off. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Which reminded me, because today, I think, or yesterday, he posted on his Facebook something about like someone like riding a bike, and like the back of the bike has a set of balls hanging from it.
Oh yeah.
And that just I was gonna make a comment or something like, oh yeah, now you got another set of balls, you're missing from your necklace. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's one of our most popular video, which is cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So Dave, I know we had actually a question about the Friedman products that were coming from NAMM. I know there were a bunch of people asking.
Oh boy. Soon. Unfortunately, a few of them had been delayed a little bit for some unforeseen circumstances. So hopefully this year. This is what we're looking at.
What was the new stuff, Dave? That
The the dual BEOD that we have now, which actually now is called it was at the show the DPOD, but now it's called the BEOD Deluxe.
okay.
Ah.
One's lower gain, one's higher gain. They both have mid knobs now.
So it's a dual overdrive pedal.
Yeah, so you can, if you got a clean amp, you can basically get two sounds, setup, lead,
Sweet.
rhythm, kind of stuff. So you can kind of, rent anything and make it sound halfway decent.
Will I make a video of that pedal?
You will.
Yeah, it looks like a very cool pedal.
You will be, because
And it
considering the views you got on your last one.
Yeah, that video did good, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a considerably good one.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's up to now. 300,000 plus views or something.
I'll take a
Something
look.
like that.
I'm just looking right now. Yeah, my biggest one is the Overdrive video. It's got 760. 760, but the BEOD video has 366. That's really good.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the biggest pedal demo videos that I ever did. But that's it's largely mostly attributed to you have a lot of fans. You do, and your people are really interested in your pedals and your amps. So
you made it sound really good. So the next one you got to use the same guitar.
Oh, okay. Right there. It's over there. I'm gonna get that. I'll grab that guitar. It's cool.
Which one was it? I forget. Oh, okay.
This guitar is this is sort of my Van Halen machine, But so this guitar, I met the guy that made this. It was cool. He came up to me. I think it was in NAMM. And he's like, "Hey, that black guitar? I made that guitar. You bought it from me," and I bought it off eBay. And it was, so this guitar is aged so it's got the KNE or maybe Musicraft body, but it's like the EV, it's old, it's hard ash, like the EVH thing,
right?
And it's got the wacky pickup cutout and all that stuff. So this is like the body for a Frankie body or whatever, and it's got that neck too, so it's bird's eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got an old Floyd from the 80s that he found, somewhere. And the pickup is a Motor City, which is our buddy Wade in Detroit, who we just saw. He spilled a martini all over the place as soon as we saw him in Detroit. First thing, right, Dave?
Yeah, so then we were having an argument on what pickup that was.
Yeah, and it's definitely a second degree black belt. But I love this guitar because it's like the guy that made it aged it to look like Blackie, I guess. So it's like a Clapton aging on a Van Halen guitar.
Right.
I thought, well, that's cool. I can take that out and play it. It's not like you're copying anybody's stripy vibe or whatever. Then you know what I mean. So it's like it's got its own thing going on. So
yeah.
But it really and I'll tell you, even I did the videos for Eddie's pedal, the EVH Overdrive, and I went up to show Eddie those videos before I put them out, because they just wanted to check them out before they actually went up. So it's normally I actually don't do that. It's like I'll just put them up, and it's kind of like my videos are like an independent, but it's ad,
right?
It's like, of course. So I went up and I played him the video, and I was nervous as shit, playing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, sitting down at the computer and handing him the hard drive and putting it in to check it out. Oh God, I hope he doesn't hate this, Yeah, and but anyway, he watched it, and him and Matt, Matt Bruck, his business partner, they looked at one another and said, yeah, and he got a smile on his face. Turned around, goes, sounds good, and I was like, oh God. and Matt turned around and looked at me. He goes, what's the pickup in that guitar? First thing, And so they dug that. So it was this guitar, and they dug the tone, both the pedal and the guitar. But it's really got a cool tone. Like it's got what's it sound like, Dave? Like it's got this edgy, bright thing that's like
it just has this attack, this wallop, and this sizzle sort of to it.
Sizzle, yeah.
That
it sounds right for that music.
Yeah, it works really well. Yeah.
Is that neck a Warmoth neck also?
I believe it's Musicraft.
Musicraft. Okay.
I think
they do good stuff too. I know one of the owners, or it's Scott Smith, the owner. He's a good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah.
I have a neck coming from them right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys your opinion because I just got for this very ugly swirl guitar that I built myself that you see over here. As a lefty, I can't get a gem swirl guitar. They just don't make it. Or it's ultra expensive if I can find one. So I just decided to make my own kind of swirl kind of thing. And a guy locally, Funk Guitars, Mark Funk, he painted it for me. But I got the neck from Warmouth, and it's roasted maple. It's flame maple. And man, I love that. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought of roasted maple. Have you played anything with it before? Or?
I love it.
That's great.
Have you done that on any of your guitars, Dave?
We haven't done any on our guitars, but we can. We haven't yet. No.
It's cool. I have it on. So okay, I'll get another guitar. Check this out. One sec. So this guitar is all roasted. So the neck is, you can see it's a roasted on the back. You can tell by the color. It's roasted maple, but the body is, I don't know if you can see the color. It's quite dark. It's roasted alder. So this is the first time he made a couple guitars. I think he made one for Landau, and he made this one too at the same time. And now I think they do more where they're roasting the bodies too. But I'm pretty sure Sir does it. But it's dark because it's roasted. And this guitar does have a real deep kind of resonance to the tone and the body of the guitar, I would say. It's a nice guitar.
Is it lighter? Do you find that the body's lighter at all? Or?
I don't know if it's lighter, but they seem to be, they're always real resonant. And the one thing I noticed is they seem real stable. Like they don't, I've got a roasted, one of the very, very first ones that they did a modern. It's a brown modern I've had for like 10 years. And that neck is really roasted. It's real dark. I mean, it's like basically one step away from being charcoal, I think. And it looks cool. It feels amazing. And that neck does not move. Like it's the stability when they get all that moisture out of there that's the one thing I think.
Yeah, it's like petrified.
And so your guitar's flame?
Yeah, let me show you. I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah. The thing, as I understand it, with the figured woods, especially bird's eye and flame maple. I was just saying the thing that as I understand it with the figured woods like bird's eye and flame is that the roasting will make them more stable. If you've got a neck like that,
generally
it's diseased wood essentially, right? And
so you can see the flame on it, right?
No, yeah.
Beautiful. That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it just, and like you said, it just feels very stable.
Yeah. Do you find that? Like the truss rod's pretty? Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is just even drilling into the wood when I had to put the whatever you call that there.
Retainer string.
Retainer string. Yeah. I had to drill that in, and and the tuners I drilled in. So I just used a little, Dremel thing to drill it in, and it was much harder than any maple that I've drilled into before on any neck. Yeah, so it was just definitely, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool, Dave, that you guys can do that.
It's colorful.
Yeah, this is definitely colorful.
So he knew how to do the drip thing, eh? That's cool. Looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It's cool. What's that?
That's badass. It looks like a nice guitar. I mean, it seems like he did a really good job on it. What does he normally do? Auto paint or something, or is he guitar paint?
No. He's doing guitars. It's called Funk Guitars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, locally down here in Florida.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's cool. It sounds great. I got these DiMarzio pickups that I put in, and I was really, no one else really makes these colored pickups, right?
Yeah, that's hard to get. Trust me.
Yeah. So but I got a Tone Zone and an Air Norton.
Okay.
And I think those were originally what were used in the Van Halen Ernie Ball guitars, or close to it, at least. That's what I heard. So it's great. Those are great pickups. They sound pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Cool.
It's a cool guitar. Like I need another guitar.
Like any of us need another guitar.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Having said all this, we're all going to sell everything. No.
Well,
Eventually, maybe. But no, it's fun. So hey, that EVH that you got behind you, the Wolfgang, is that a new one, or you've had that for a while?
No, I've had that for shit. I think since maybe 2009. Ed and Matt gave that to me like 2009. Like I think it's 2009.
Wow, because I've got one almost exactly like it in left.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, right here. Let me take it out.
it's the identical twin.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I love it.
It's totally identical. That's a riot. Wow. It's a really good guitar. I used it on something the other day. It's got a thing that when I want that thing, I play that guitar, and it's a certain tone, and it's really cool for rock, like which sounds like whatever. But it's like when I need a more I don't have a lot of guitars with high output pickups, but that guitar has that.
Yeah.
Higher output. I can drop tune it. I've had it tuned down. I mean, when I did the EVH, the second pedal video, I used that, and I had it in, I think, drop C sharp or something. And I made like heavy riff and did, and it sounds really good in the all three pickup positions, I find, and it just works for that certain thing,
Yeah, and it's got the like the vintage style frets with their stainless steel, right?
It does, and I would almost consider putting bigger ones in there now.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I use big frets now on my signature guitar, and I'm just kind of like in that zone. Like with I at one point I said to myself, why I'm always like, oh, I guess I should get 6105s because it's not quite as big. At one point I went, I knew in 1985 that I like 6100s. What am I doing? And I pick up
why am I fighting it?
Yeah, and I hate it when they dress them down too much. I want them tall, like. I want a big, round, tall 6100s. That's my thing. I'm fine with it. It's like I know I like that. I can play 6105s. This guitar's got 6105s in it, or whatever the equivalent Surge Escar size is. But and I'm fine with that too. But
do you like stainless, or you have to get nickel?
I'm cool with kind of either. I like both. I mean, obviously the longevity is great with stainless, and that slick feels great, but there's something about the nickel frets that just feels like old school home too. I don't know. That's what I grew up on. I don't know. You know what I mean? They feel a little different, like vibrato and bending, even though you're wearing that fret every time you lean into it. It's
putting grooves in it.
They have a feel to them. Yeah, putting grooves in it. Yeah.
Well, there's something to be said about that. But Dave, are your guitars, you put them, you have the option, right, on your guitars?
We do, but we haven't done it. We don't generally do stainless. We can do it.
Gotcha.
I prefer nickel. I don't know. Stainless feels a little odd to me growing up playing nickel. It's too smooth, too easy. But it does last forever.
Yeah.
It feels really good to me on my, like we use it on my signature, sir. Yeah. If you get a guitar that comes on, like, what do I mean by that? Like if you get a guitar that's made, like you pick up the guitar and it's stainless steel, right? It's great. It's like cool. And generally if it's a, 25 and a half and kind of more a hot roddy kind of guitar, it's cool with me. It's like, if it's a Les Paul, I changed the frets on a Les Paul once to stainless. And I just didn't jive with it. It was weird. And the guitar sounded a little different. Like I don't even know if it sounded different through an amp, but I could hear the little plink sound that I didn't hear before, And I noticed it on that guitar when I changed the frets to it, So it was like, okay, maybe I don't. And so now I got this thing where never on a Gibson style, I want a nickel fret on those guitars. But on my guitar, kind of more hot rod, I'm fine with it. It's weird. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, different components. I don't know. I tend to like it for me. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and it's easier, easier to bend.
Easy bend and the fret, man. I mean, they sure wear, like, my few guitars that have nickel, still, vintage and stuff like that I have, or my Yaren or stuff. It's like, oh geez, like after 2 years, look at the pits. It's like I remember what that's like.
Yeah, it's not fun, and then you're just like, oh, I gotta, because I know nothing about fretwork, so. Yeah. Like I can do stuff on my guitar and set it up and electronics and stuff, but when it comes to fretwork, forget it. I got to bring it to somebody. I know nothing about that. So,
and then in the 90s, I bought a whole like fret dress kit or fret, like all the stuff, the files, the neck thing, all the blocks and stuff. And I did one fret dress. And I don't want to do this.
Pay someone.
Yeah, this sucks. Not for me. Like my hands hurt, man. Afterwards, like crowning and stuff. It was like my hand. I was like, I can't even play now. Like my hands are fried from and I don't think I did a very good job. Probably not the first time, but I think I strung it up and I was like, better take this to somebody to get it done right. But yeah, and I just lost all interest in that. So Dave knows that I shouldn't even be letting near a soldering iron. It's like. I can set up my guitars, I can't wire.
Oh, really? You're not good even with the soldering?
Oh, no.
I'm the guy that'll like burn the body of the guitar because I'll lean the iron over and be touching the wood. Oh, God.
I've done that.
Yeah, in the cavity. I suck.
Yeah, I've done that before.
I can't see. In case you didn't notice, my eyes suck. But so I'm always like, I can't, like trying to wire a Strat Jack, or I don't know, it sucks. Not for me.
Yeah, but I've definitely put burn marks in the guitar before. That's funny. I actually had to just buy another soldering iron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one in my garage just got old. But the ones I buy are like $20. So, hey, we got a question here. I thought I flagged it. I figured we'd try to get some questions because I know you guys are tight for time tonight, right? We're going to end at 7:30 your time, right?
I should probably run then. Yeah, if you got to go too, Dave. Yeah.
No, I want to go too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to go too. Yeah, it's a short show, so let's answer some questions if we can.
Yeah. So, John Sims, do you guys like wireless? If so, what brands?
That's a good question. What do you think, Dave? With all the rig buildings and stuff.
Sonically, the Line 6 stuff is great. And I hear, like we were talking about this the other day. I hear the newest one with the tuner built in or whatever, the G70 something
75
is got all the issues that they've had in the past, fixed. And basically, those issues were, certain players using it in certain high RF environments, causing dropouts and weird shit like that.
That's right. Yeah,
they do sound good. They do sound really good.
I have one here somewhere. Where is mine? I have a 75 in here. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, it's great.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. I mean, even here's the thing about wireless. If it's digital, it's probably 24 to 96 K, 2496 converters. If it's digital, that the little Line 6 one works great. It's like the G10. It's probably sound exactly the same as the big one. I doubt there's a different A to D converter in there, right? So it's like once you go digital, it's basically they're all pretty. Then it's all the bells and whistles.
The little Shure one, the little Shure pedal board one, also with the tuner in it, that's a digital one. That's Shure. And that almost seems ever so slightly, a few more features and a few more pro features to it. A lot of touring bands use Shure wireless. It's pretty common.
The main issue, though, Dave, don't you find, is that you're going to run into situations. It depends on your situation, because what I've found is especially on the overseas tours that I do, there's a guy, they'll sometimes have a person on staff that their job is wireless, and their job is, and what I mean by that is their job is to divvy up the wireless frequencies that day, because you might be dealing with you need 30 channels of wireless, like, because there's dancers and there's a big band and there's like, and the frequencies and things are all different in different countries that you're allowed to use. So literally the guy will come to me and say, your frequencies today are 538.20 and 644.31. And you need to have a wireless so you can dial into those exact frequencies. And so that's going to dictate that you got to use a high-end Sennheiser or Shure or something that, and this is the one thing with the Line 6s where they're just not going to have that. And I've mentioned that to them, whereas if you guys want to have a true pro wireless, you got to be able to, you got to have 6,000 frequencies so you can basically dial in the exact one. That's just, if you say, oh, well, my wireless doesn't do that, they'll say, well, you can't use it then. We'll rent you one. We'll get you one from the backline company. And so then you got to pick some. So I end up using Shure all the time overseas because of that.
And it works if you dial in on the standard Shures. If you dial in the gain structure just right and really like kind of A/B it sounds pretty damn good. You can dial it in, but you got to dial the gain structures in right, otherwise it doesn't sound right at all.
I'm using a digital. The
digital's like way better.
Yeah, sure. Although it still has noise, I'll say that. It's funny, man. Like in the front end of an amp with gain, it's noticeable. It's
best thing to use with that is the Smart Gate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally it'll just take the hiss out and nothing else. It won't screw up anything. And that's what I use on most of the pro rigs. Jerry Cantrell and everyone.
It's the
you have to get rid of that wireless hiss. Otherwise, you just, you got a hiss in your amp already, and then you just compound it like triple with the wireless in front.
Yeah. My AKG, I don't think adds hiss. I have a nice AKG digital that I got that Steve Stevens originally turned me on to, and I think he still uses them. Yeah. But they won't let me use it in Japan because of the frequencies or something. So it's like they want to use the Shure. Sounds the same. There's no difference in the tone. I mean, once they're digital, so the thing with wireless is like, and Dave could explain it better than me, but they're in the analog wireless because of the FCC and stuff like that. There's a limited dynamic range that you could use with an analog wireless. I think it was like 30 or 40 dB or something like that. So you had to use this compounding. Yeah, you had to use this compounding technology where it was like, it would basically like compress the signal and then re-expand it on the other end. Is that right, Dave? When it comes out of
yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but even the analog ones the Shure ones at least sounded halfway decent. That's Van Halen was using and stuff recently.
But that's why they sound a little different, right? Is because you got that shit in there right?
Yeah. It doesn't ever quite react the same way with the volume knob and the guitar and things like that. The digital ones work better with the volume knobs on the guitars.
Yeah,
that's great. See, I'm glad you brought that up, because there are elements of going wireless that I felt like, at least back in the day when I didn't have a great wireless system. It was probably like a Shure PGX something, like one of the cheaper ones. But I found that when using pedals, especially fuzz, but just pedals, and then also the volume knob,
honestly, if you're not touring huge stadiums and stuff, and you're doing local gigs and stuff, the Line 6 ones are fantastic.
Agreed.
Even some more national touring acts even use some of those. I mean, Steve Vai uses a Line 6 G70 whatever. The high end floor one.
It's nice. The G75 is great. I mean, and I'm not even sure how many channels you can do on it. You might be able to do more than but I have one here and I used it a little bit. I couldn't take it on tour because of the reasons I'm saying, but I got one from them and it seems to sound great. And it also allows you to do some cool stuff like A-Bing. Like it's an A-B switch. So it's got two outputs and then it's got a dedicated, and it's got a tuner built in, and the pack is real nice. They designed this real kind of slim pack for it. That's it's different than the ones for the G30 and G50. And it's cool. It's a good piece of gear.
That's cool. Yeah. I got to get a wireless, so because I have it set up in my garage. I can walk around my neighborhood and just walk around my block and.
Yeah, exactly. The issues, Mark, that you were saying with the fuzz pedal, though, that the one thing about wireless is that your signal's low impedance coming out of the receiver, whether it's an analog wireless or or digital wireless. And so that's always the problem, is that plugging the output of the receiver into the first pedal in your chain, if you're using fuzz faces or anything germanium, you're screwed, because you pretty much got to go to a cable if you want to use a fuzz face for a song or something, because it's that you're buffering is what you're doing in front of which.
Yeah, and then if you want to, if you're using fuzz pedals and you want to go that way, you might as well just go chords.
Yeah.
If you're going to go old school fuzz tone.
I had a ZVEX Fuzz Factory.
Yeah, that'll fuck it up for sure.
That's exactly what it was.
Because the Fuzz Factory is all about the woo thing that you can do with the volume on the guitar, right? And that's it's interacting with the pickups in the circuit of the guitar. And as soon as you go low impedance, as soon as you buffer, that goes away.
Yeah. Interesting. That's cool. We had another question from CMC Knight 1984. What is Dave's view of multipath tube amps?
I'm not exactly totally sure what you mean by that. Pete, do you have any idea what that means?
Maybe it means like
two channels on in parallel or something?
Or maybe like two power sections or something, like amps that have that could do like a true Fender and a true Marshall in one or something.
I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. So
multipath.
Please clarify.
Yeah. We've got Meron Khan who says, Pete inspired me to play guitar better and give up gluten.
But wait, difficult to do in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I bet it is.
Still keeping at it.
Wow. Well, does he feel better, I wonder? That would be an interesting, I'd love to know. So that was my problem with it, why I stopped. I felt much better. I still have all kinds of problems with my stupid GI, but that's more than most people need to know.
Here's actually an interesting question that I actually thought of earlier to ask you this question. And you just
don't have chili.
I have a lot of
Detroit. Sorry,
I always have problems traveling in my stomach. Like I have GI issues whenever I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Do you find that, Pete? Or
yeah, I mean, I have to be really careful. That's the thing with the gluten thing, and I have to be careful. But to tell you the truth, there's something about I tend to do better in Europe, and I tend to do better in Japan. So I don't know what's going on with the food in America, but I don't know. It's
the Roundup.
It's something about the Roundup, exactly. There's a whole thing about that.
Because they say a lot of people that are intolerant to gluten here are not intolerant to gluten in Europe.
Yeah.
So then it's not the gluten.
Right. What else could it be?
It's maybe the Roundup that they're spraying on the wheat crops.
Yeah. Which there's a whole, I mean, you can look it up. I believe it's FDA or U.S. Department of Agriculture or something has listed Roundup kind of quietly as a carcinogen, and this is the stuff they spray on every crop, that's not organic. So it's a carcinogen, and they came out and said it. And of course, the company spokesman, their lawyers came out and said, no, it's not. This is completely false. But the U.S. government said that, it's like, this isn't some like conspiracy theory or whatever. They basically have tested it, and it's not good for your stomach.
Oh, that is harmful stuff. I've used Roundup around my house like years ago because just to kill weeds and crap, and that stuff is toxic.
Yeah, imagine eating it.
No, exactly.
Which is what you're doing.
Yeah, that's not. That is not good.
Just Google it. Anybody out there interested? Google Roundup and carcinogen. It'll pop up.
Great. That's another thing to worry about.
Yeah.
R2R3 Locking Nut has a question. If one speaker of a 412 cabinet is not working, does that affect the impedance of the output of my power amp?
It could. Depends on how the cabinet's wired. It also might not work at all. So, yes.
Probably not a good thing.
Yeah, not a good thing. Fix your speaker.
Interesting. I didn't know that either. Terry Goldstein, amp question. What can cause a popping, crackling sound from my amp while idle that is temporary when I turn it on? Even with the new tubes, it happens.
It still could be tubes. Are they Sovtek preamp tubes? Because if there's Sovtek preamp tubes in it, they do that. Generally. It's hard to say. It could be something else too, but could be a variety of things.
Okay. We got a question here from L. Scott Music. He says, Pete, Lauren Knight here. Thanks for the fun party the other night. Good to see you again. The album sounded great. Could you and Dave discuss the virtues of deep versus shallow speaker cabs?
Sure. Great to see you as well.
You go for it.
Thanks for coming to the party. We had fun the other night. I had too much to drink. And I felt it the next day. But it was a lot of fun. We listened to the record and gave away a bunch of pedals and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. Just did a little listening party for the people that got in on the Pledge Music thing. And it was really fun.
Where was that at again?
Oh, was it Viper Room?
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool place.
Yeah, it was fun. Just in the little downstairs bar. It was nice. Intimate little gathering. It was cool. But I mean, some folks drove all the way up from Phoenix and stuff. It was really cool. So
wow, very cool.
So when we designed the PT100 cab, we tried different depths. Generally, with deeper cabinets, you're going to find more bass. And I remember like when Top Hat, Brian Gerhard he had the great little amps, the Club Royale and Club Deluxe. And they originally were a certain depth, and then he designed a slightly deeper cabinet. It was like, ooh, that is an improvement. It just gets a little more big,
a little fuller.
And you probably go too far, right, Dave? Like, it's probably a balance.
There's a balance. There's no you just kind of have to try some stuff and figure out what you like. And
yeah.
What about
it's all about the whole cabinet design too. So it's hard. You can't just say, is this a closed back cabinet? Is it an open back cabinet? Is it how big are the baffles in the back? So it's all a big equation. So the depth of the cabinet might not make as much of a difference in some cabs where they're designed versus others.
And you'll find it even with open back too. I mean, I find like for instance, the original Marshalls, the combos from the 70s, they're pretty shallow.
Yeah.
Not a lot of depth going on. They don't have much bass. And that was like the original, I think Sir makes an open back 212 that's that size. And they sound cool and everything, but then we tried the deeper one. And even in an open back, like an oval back, it was like, oh, it's bigger.
Right.
This sounds bigger. If you're trying to get a 412 thing, you'll want it deeper. So we did that with the PT100 cabinet. I didn't want it as big as like a Bogner oversized or something. So the cabinet is physically not as oversized as that, but it's as deep as a 412, I think. So.
Okay, that's cool. Matt Harrison, Pete, how is your Japanese coming along?
It's good. Still, speaking Skoshi Nashimasu, like a little bit, but I'm learning. I can kind of read now, which is amazing for me. So I do this app where I basically, okay, I'll show you this is what I sit around and do all day. Like, this is my hiragana app. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's like I sit around and draw. Okay, so it wants me to draw an A, so I have to go like this, and then I screwed up. So like this, like this, like this, and I sit around and I draw, these things all day basically, and then it tells me if I'm right or not. And this is just a thing that prompts you on, So I've been working on that. And then there's other things in this. I bought this for $7. It's amazing. And I learned how to do, like, you can learn 2 of the Japanese alphabet. There's 3, but you can learn 2 using this for $7.
Wow.
Amazing. So I do that. And then it's got some great, you go all the way through all these lesson courses, and it's teaching me to string all kinds of things together and ask, I'm learning verbs and sentence structure and stuff. So it's fun. And it's coming pretty good, There's all kinds of great. I mean, just like with guitar, right? Like there's this one called Human Japanese, really, really good app. That's kind of very sort of conversational. Like teaches you real world kind of. So you just sit there and do that for a couple hours every day, and watch a lot of movies.
Yeah,
that's Japanese movies or TV.
Interesting. Yeah, because that's what they do at least for learning American, English, right?
Sure. I talked to a guy the other day. It was actually really interesting. He's Dutch, and he's actually going to be the bass player on the Japanese tour, the next run that we're doing. And he has no accent. And I was like, "What's up with that?" Like, because he told me he was from Holland, and I'm like, "What? Like, you sound like you're from America." And he said, "Well, I attribute it to in Holland because he lived in Holland until he was 10 and then moved over." He said they don't dub the TV shows, so the American shows come over and they don't dub in. People speaking Dutch, right? There's subtitles, and you hear the English, and you hear the accent. Whereas in Germany and France and just about everywhere else over there, they dub in.
Yeah.
And so that's why Germans have German accents when they speak English, and why, and the French have French, but all the Dutch people sound like they're Americans. So it's kind of, I was like, God, that really explains a lot. That's amazing. But
that's funny.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
Yeah. So watching shows and stuff is definitely a great.
Yeah. Jump into a completely different topic here. Kev Gems. Pete, have you tried the Waza amp? Are they big in Japan?
I haven't, but I know the Katanas seem to be the ones getting all the love. I saw like Jude Gold the other day. It was like, I went solid state. I got a Katana, and he said it sounded great. And a lot of people.
The Katana's a cool amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Honestly, I haven't even played one, but Dave, you played one, right, in the shop?
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it sounds pretty damn good, especially for the price.
For the price, it's great. Yeah,
it's like you're like going, it's pretty usable.
$300 or something.
I guess some of them are less.
I think it was. Yeah, I think I got the 100-watt 1x12, and I think it might have been less than $300. And
wow,
it's 100 watts. I mean, wow. It's. I don't know if I would end up. I use it for practice in my living room. It probably wouldn't be my first choice to go with the band, but it can definitely work if you needed it. That's for sure. So that's the cool thing about it. It's
good backup.
Yeah, exactly. And the Waza amp was their more expensive version. I think
that came out kind of first. I think, right?
Yeah. I think that led the way for the other little ones.
Yeah. Yeah. M. Rabble has a question for me. What's the deal with all the Captain America stuff? Is that Mark's day job? No. No, I'm just a big Marvel fan. I collect comic books and stuff. So that's another one of my expensive passions that I should eventually stop. But yeah, that's one of my I just collect that stuff. So it's cool. Someone else wrote that. Let's see. Just looking for some. Pete is such a pro. I bet he would win America Idol if life was fair.
I don't know about that. Thanks.
I watched American Idol a couple things with my wife. Man, it is so bad. Oh my god. At least the voice is pretty cool. Without I can enjoy that a little bit, but oh my god, American Idol is just brutal.
Was it bad?
They and even the winner just the other. I was just like,
really?
I haven't watched a one iota of American Idol in the new version of it. Not one. So
my friend was MDing it, and the band, and Ariana played. She was playing guitar for a little while, and then Saran, Greg Saran, he was playing guitar too. So I know some people in the band, but I didn't watch any of it this season to see what's going on.
No, I don't know.
The bands are always great.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I got two questions for me in here.
Go for it.
Some guy was talking about Edge 1963 one, talking about his JJ getting darker with time. Compared to others I play, even when I change the tubes. Any idea what could be causing this? Other than tubes, nothing really off the top of my head, unless are you comparing your amp in the same room with the same speaker cabinet and stuff when you say others? You might want to do that. Other than tubes, nothing really could be causing that.
Other than your ears going.
Yeah, your ears going deaf. Yeah, maybe you're going deaf.
Let's hope not.
Probably not, though. And then the other question was Allison covers. Dave saw the pictures of Cantrell's rig from the South Bend show, and I thought he was using ISO cabs. He hasn't been using ISO cabs for years. The cabs are just off near his guitar rig, side stage, and they're just mic'd up in open air. So they're just blasting over there. It sounds better that way. It sounds infinitely better that way. So that's why they do it that way. And it really doesn't matter. They're not protecting anyone from how loud it is over there.
Okay.
So there you go.
Cool.
Here's another one. Are you having a display at Summer NAMM? Yes.
When is Summer NAMM? June?
End of June. I'm leaving again. I'm leaving out of town again. July 19th. June 19th. Sorry. And I'll be gone for the rest of the month. Because we have Sweetwater Gear Fest and then consecutive weekends. Then we have, right after it, we have Summer NAMM. So I'm just not coming home.
Don't do it.
I'm going from one right to the other. Driving.
Yeah, you're going to be gone. I'm going to try to go to Sweetwater Gear Fest.
Hey, shit.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work it out.
I'm crossing my fingers for no rain this year.
Right, you said it. Oh, that's right. It's like totally humid.
Routinely, sometimes it would just pour on us, which is lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're not talking me into it.
Well, don't you have a storm right now? I mean,
yeah, I gotta. That's true. I have a tropical storm going on. Hey, I know you guys got to run, so I want to be cognizant of time. But I'll end with one of the comments that Wally Walter says. He said, "Pete is such a pro," and I agree. Pete, you're great. I love that you come on the show. Thanks so much.
You guys are too kind. Thank you.
And I'm excited to hear your album. I'm a big fan. I tell everybody that I can about your Guitar Nerd album because I really do think it's one of the better guitar instrumental albums that's come out in a really long time. I mean, I would put it up there with like, Surfing with the Alien or, like I really think it's an amazing guitar album. So
wow, man, thanks.
Yeah, I really do. It's fantastic. I love listening to it. And the thing that I love about it even most, and I'm not going to just sit here and kiss your butt, but I just really want to tell you that I love about it is that it's very diverse. Like one song will get you all excited, and then you go into something very mellow, and it's got very diverse. I really like your stuff. So I just wanted to have the opportunity to tell you that. So
I really appreciate it. I hope you dig the new one. It's all over the map too, generally because I'm just schizo and because I make them over the course of a few years. So it's like my tastes change. And then sometimes I listen to them and go like, I hope this makes sense. Like it's not too all over the map, but
no, it's good.
Thanks, Mark.
I like that. No, it's great. I'm looking forward to hearing it, and everybody grab it when it comes out. Make sure you buy it.
Buy it.
Yes.
Thank you. It'll be June 15th everywhere.
No streaming. Buy
it. Thank you.
And Dave, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'll live.
Feel better, Dave.
I'll live.
And your son as well. Hope everybody feels better. And we will next show. I want to mention next show is what's the date? I think it's what is the next date? Okay, so June 8th. The next show is with Doug Rappaport.
Hey.
So June 8th, Doug Rappaport is going to be joining us. So looking forward to having Doug and talking to him. So that'll be
Ask
awesome.
Doug about Japan too. He's been playing with Yozawa over there. Yozawa's like the Japanese Elvis.
Oh, sweet.
Massive. Big gig. So he'll have some great stories.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You have a great night. Everybody else, great weekend. Thanks for tuning in, watching the show. We got 186 viewers right now, and thank you all to who's viewing us. So
might be a record on the shortest show.
Yeah, it's a really great viewing. Please hit the subscribe button too. Check out the show, subscribe to it on YouTube, tone-talk.com. Thanks everybody. Pete,
bye, guys.
Thanks again.
Thanks you guys. Thanks for having me. See you everybody.
See you.